Before this video starts, I am bound by the laws of YouTube to say that I do not condone or suggest the uses of these substances. Just don't do drugs. Get high on life. Now without further ado-sies, let's get started with the story. Now, flashback to 420 of last year. You know, I'm dancing with my beautiful girlfriend, we'll just call her MJ. And, you know, everything was just going swimmingly. You know, we're having a good old time, we're eating, we're dancing, I'm playing blackjack because the theme of the prom was, you know, casino. And everything was going cool. Now fast forward to the end of prom. And I'm like, at home, chilling, and I'm like, you know, it'd be real good right now? Some acid. You know, so I go to my little stash, I pull out one gel tab, and for those of you who don't journey off the deep end of the drug world, a gel tab is considered to be the loud, the dank, some gas of the acid, you know. And you know, I've taken acid before, but all my previous experiences with acid were all paper tabs, which is like some mid, you know, some coup of the acid life. Now, paper tabs usually sit around 30 to 100 micrograms of LSD, where gel tabs sit around anywhere from 30 to 600 micrograms of USD, or LSD. And I guess the person who sold my gel tabs weren't aware that mine in particular were double dosed. And I thought I was getting a 250 microgram tab, when in reality I was getting a 500 microgram tab of acid. And now I was still riding the wave of, you know, prom night, so I took the whole thing. Now you're really supposed to take it in half. A 500 microgram tab is really supposed to be taken in half unless you're like super experienced or something. I took the whole thing. 30 minutes in, I start to feel it. No visuals or nothing yet, but like I just felt this pure anxiety in my stomach. I started getting a little worried. So I called my friend up who I usually do this type of stuff with, and I was like, yo, I think I took too much. And he did his best to like ground me and like, you know, bring me back to reality, but I knew for a fact that it was only gonna get worse from there. And I was like, shh. Now, about an hour into this experience, I start to see my walls just melt. And like, I was like, what the fuck? You know, and then I went to go grab the remote for my TV so I can try to put on some relaxing anything. And my hand wrapped around the remote like it was just some rope. And like at that point I was kind of fascinated by the visuals and everything that was going on, but my body felt nothing but pure panic. And it created like this disconnect between my mind and my body, which freaked me out. You know, I didn't feel like I was one person. I felt like I was like that movie fucking Inside Out or whatever the hell, the emotion movie from Disney, where there was a bunch of people in one mind, completely disconnected. Now, about 3 hours in, I was in full freak out mode, you know, pacing the house, looking at all the intense visuals that was going on. My cat was crying, you know, the lights were flashing, there was like everything was moving, you know, everything was wavy, everything was crazy, right? And I just kept on trying to calm myself down. I was like, yo, I'm good, everything's gonna be okay. And that worked pretty well. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go sleep this off. So I go and I lay down in my bed, and that was probably the worst decision I made while going through this experience, because it just launched me into this full kaleidoscope, fractally universe. And I was just complete ego death. Like everything was just, I didn't know who I was, nothing. I was just in this universe, so far away off into the distance. And I was like, this is it, I'm crazy, you know? And I was pretty much, that's where I stayed for hours until I passed out. Like, it was nuts. It was pretty crazy for a long time. Moral of the story, though, for today's story is, don't do drugs. And if you do, really know your limits, know what you're taking, have a good set and setting for your experience, and have someone like you trust and you know that can like help you stay sane and stay cool throughout your experience. Because if you're going through alone at nighttime especially, a lot of things it's pretty much you against your own mind. So like just make sure you have everything you need to have a good time.